Merry Christmas. Good morning. I've just dealt with the most frustrating interaction. I got this camera. Well, I got this, it's like a battery that has a plug directly connected to it. But whenever I put it in the camera won't be recognized, so it won't actually operate. And I cannot figure out why. Idea why it's going on. The camera works. Like it's clearly on, but when I do this, I'll show you guys real quick. Hold on. Standing up. All of a sudden, it does want to run. So I don't know what's going on there. Just been messing with that for way too long. 20 minutes late. But it is Christmas Day today. Decided to go spend time with the family. Got some fun stuff to do. Yesterday, I did a leg workout, and I'm pretty sure I injured myself trying to do it. So that was great. At this point, if I roll this slowly, should I not just put on a Apple set, you know? No, let's go more. Oh, we're supposed to talk about gratitude. So today, I'm super grateful for just a super loving family. Yeah, we got to go out last night and play a bunch of games and stuff.
I pray that through you.
Keep our souls. We got to go out last night and play a bunch of games with all the family and everything, and man, it was joyous. It was good. What else? I'm grateful for this experience here each morning has been good for me. It's been keeping me focused. It's been keeping me in the Word, which is super good for me. That's awesome. Actually, let's go this way. What am I grateful for? I gotta think one more thing. I'm grateful I got another daughter on the way. That's good. My commitments yesterday, I essentially got everything done that I wanted to get done, so I feel good about it. I did quite a bit of prep work for today, going through 1 Timothy 3, and we actually don't have that much time, so we probably should hop into it, because I still can't stay super late. Alright. We sneak by these guys. Wow, that was easy. Okay, this is a trustworthy saying. If anyone aspires to the office of overseer, he desires a noble task. This is coming right off the tail end of him saying, hey, there's a lot of dissension in the church, a lot of this stuff going on. Here's how people should work in church. He says women should adorn themselves, they should learn a quietness. One of the things I was thinking about is how radical it was in that time that he commands, hey, women should learn, especially at that time. That was like a fairly radical idea, which I think is super cool. But then he goes into, if you desire the office of overseer, I think you can actually parry this thing. Therefore, an overseer must be above reproach, the husband of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled. I tried. Must be above reproach, the husband of one wife. Hold on. Distracted. Nice. Self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, and able to teach. This is something that struck me for the first time as I was reading it, is that there is not an expectation, and this is, we call people elders today that I don't know that would be considered elders. It's not just a, my understanding is, it's not just a, it's not just a board of people making decisions for like a Sunday morning gathering. I got 2 of those. And I think that's become somewhat problematic, how we characterize them. Because really, it seems to me from what I'm reading, and welcome to be corrected here, it really seems that an elder is really what we call a pastor today. Right? I mean, and that's what I highlighted here is like, yeah, they're good men, right? Above reproach, the husband of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, but they're able to teach. And I know that the majority of the churches that I've gone to, it's not been expected that all of the elders preach or teach. You can say it either way, but I don't think there's a distinction there, because I don't think the word preach specifically is in the Bible. So it was interesting to me to read this, because it's like essentially stating that they should be able to, and there should be the expectation that they do that. But then it says, not a drunkard, not violent but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must manage his own household well, with all dignity, keeping his children submissive. For if someone does not know how to manage his own household, how will he care for God's church? Oh man, it's gonna shoot me. I love playing with just big sticks. It's great. Move. There we go. Oh, that does go. What is up with this guy? Am I not doing damage to him? Oh, wait. Nope. Okay. I don't need many viewers. Thanks, though. He must not be a recent convert, or he may be puffed up with conceit and fall into the condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must be well thought of by outsiders, so that he may not fall into disgrace, into a snare of the devil. So what I found interesting here is I started looking into the connected, below it talks about deacons, right? And if you don't know, deacons is another translation for servant. And it does give us qualifications for a male deacon. One of the things that's interesting to try to remember is that in the end of Romans, he commends Phoebe a deacon of the church or a servant of the church. So it seems somewhat unclear. This is mentioned as though they're men with similar qualifications. I don't know if there's a difference between the office of servant and just being a servant of the church. I tend to think that there isn't, and that a deacon is just someone who serves in the church, right? Which I personally, based upon what he says about Phoebe, don't think that is that being a man is qualification for that. Could be wrong. I'm happy to be corrected. I'm working through all this stuff right now. But what I do find interesting is deacons likewise must be dignified, not double-tongued, not addicted to much wine, not greedy for dishonest gain. They must hold to the mystery of the faith with a clear conscience, and let them be tested. Then let them serve as deacons if they prove themselves blameless. Their wives likewise must be dignified, not slanderers, but sober-minded. Hold on. But sober-minded, faithful in all things. Let deacons be the husband of one wife, managing their household well. Oh man, where'd he come from? How am I missing anything? Bob and weave. I don't think he even reached into his pouch to get an arrow. What I started highlighting is the consistent qualifications between the two, because I thought that was interesting. The first thing in the deacon section is that they must be dignified, and in the elder section it says a similar thing, right? He must be well thought of by outsiders, so he may not fall into disgrace. And then I've got not double-tongued, not addicted to much wine, not greedy for dishonest gain. That is deacons. An elder must not be a drunkard, not violent but gentle, not quarrelsome. That's not a... Okay, good. And not a lover of money. So it's very, very similar qualifications, and I was interested to see what the differences were. A elder must not be a recent convert. A deacon, however, the similar command here is they must hold to the mystery of the faith with a clear conscience. So there's not a direct tie to them having to be a... Whether or not they could or could not be a recent convert is not one of the questions. Where does this take me? Oh, I wanted to... Okay, wow, this goes way high. Alright. I'm not going to be able to hit him. Can't hit him. Oh no. Come here. Got him. And the one over here is there. They don't need to be a long-term believer, which I think is interesting. But there are a lot of qualifications that seem to match, right? They've got to both be the husband of one wife and tend to their house well. They've got to prove that. I will say deacons do not need to be able to teach, which is a key differentiator, which is interesting to me. It's also not asked that they're hospitable. I'm not saying that they're not needed to be. I'm just saying it's an interesting difference between what's mentioned in overseer. Takes me. I'm about to go into a fight. I don't remember him being. Stuck in here by this stuff. Yeah. Oh, is this how I end up in prison? I think it is. Alright, we don't actually... My kids are going to be up early. Oh, I'm cursed. Well... Okay, finally. Those who serve as deacons gain a good standing for themselves and also great confidence in the faith that is in Christ Jesus. And that's something that, like, I saw is the more that we live for what we're called to, right, which is serving the people of God, the stronger that our faith comes. Come here. Half my health. I don't understand. Where do I go? Everything's locked. I thought I like dropped through a hole or something. What am I missing? Okay, I do love how this ends though, and I wanted to read it. I hope to come to you soon, but I am writing these things so that if I delay, you may know how one ought to behave in the household of God. Okay, so that's the qualification for what's happening. That's what he's talking about. This is what the household of God should look like. I have no idea what nothing. I just have to work out? Oh. That's it. Okay. So, whatever we read, right? The chapter before, this is all about which is his church, a pillar and buttress of the church. This is how it should operate. It seems like an important cutscene. Climbing out. Okay. For great indeed, we confess, is the mystery of godliness. Okay, so we've just been dealing with this problematic issue, right? How do I have a purging stone? I need to figure out if I need something cool to break this curse. Makes sense, right? Boop. I don't think I do. Okay. Great indeed we confess is the mystery of godliness. Okay, so we've been dealing with this, like there's a whole bunch of issues with proper doctrine, with like people teaching stuff they shouldn't teach. Where's he headed? And now he's reiterating what the important things are, what the good things are. And that is, he was manifested in the flesh, right? The God of the universe came in the flesh. Vindicated by the Spirit, right? So the Spirit, there's some that say justified. But in the Spirit, he was known to be true. Seen by angels. I don't know what these guys do. Proclaimed among the nations, believed on in the world, taken up in glory. These are the affirmations of who Christ is, right? This is, hey, you've been dealing with all these problematic issues, people talking about endless genealogies, people being disruptive. Here's how the church should operate and function, and here's why. And it's all back to Christ. It's all back to what he's done, who he is. So I love that. I've got 5 minutes here before I need to go. We're probably not going to read as much this morning as much as kind of get stockings and stuff ready. Oh, I missed it. What is this thing? Extra prison key right there. Can commitments for the day. I'm just going to enjoy spending time with my family. I'm not going to make any commitments. I've got workout 4 times this week. I do want to make sure that we read the story of Christ today, and I would encourage you, if you're with your family, to do the same. That is massively important. Other than that, I'm just going to enjoy celebrating, feasting, enjoying time with the family and everything. As we go out today, just enjoy rest. That's my goal today. And I do have work off tomorrow, so I will be here tomorrow morning. Hopefully not late this time. But I can't figure out how to get that stupid camera to work, so I'm going to be wrestling with that as well. With that, what do we have? 3 more minutes? We'll go a little bit longer. I'm going to kill a few of these guys, see what's down here. Come here. Oh, missed. What do you think these people are? Oh, God. Oh, I've never seen that before. Wow. That's scary. Okay. I think I've never been grabbed by one of those. What's over here? Just a broken clockwork section. See anything. Alright. Got a couple minutes left. Are they sitting down? Are they friendly? Or are they just friendly until I open this door? Wow.
I'm in prison once again. I don't speak the archives. Such a storehouse of knowledge. The thought offends me so. As a student of the arts, you are...
Yeah, I don't have a key.
Hello again. Alas, at the arc. The thought of... As a...
It's locked. But it's just... I think I've traversed this area, haven't I? I don't know where I would find a key. It's about time. I gotta go. See if there's anything else up here real quick and then we'll move on. Yeah, I've been in there. See if the stairs. One second, what about... Is this where the... Oh. Where is the... Ooh, what's that over there? You see that? This isn't even where's the bonfire? Didn't realize how far up this thing went. I think I need to try to open this door over here. I just died. Alright, I gotta go. You guys have a good day. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace out.